Hi guys, it's me again, and I have a couple of friends with me today. This is Alpaca, that's his name, Alpaca, and this is Al Picasso. I have them because I'm feeling a little vulnerable right now, um, but I wanted to have a calmer chat with you, um, a little bit about what's going on with me and a little bit about mental illness. um, I have episodes of major depression, as you have witnessed, and I've tried many medications for it. And the medications that I had been on basically left me feeling nothing. And part of the reason for my depression is that I'm in chronic pain. So when you're in chronic pain, it kind of spurns depression. And I also have PTSD. And there are certain things that trigger me. I don't want to go into what they are, but let's just say there are certain things that trigger me. And if I've been triggered at any point during the day, it makes me very susceptible to having a depressive episode. And on the day that I lost my job, I had been triggered that morning. Not once, but twice I had been triggered. And I had done really well to keep it calm and keep it under wraps and not let anybody know. And then some other things happened. And then, I ended up losing my job, and through no fault of my own. I will say that. I even asked my coworkers, because there were witnesses as to everything that happened. And they all agreed that my boss, now former boss, was in the wrong, and that he really had no just reasoning to terminate my employment. But that's said and done, it's done, and I have to move on. I'm very thankful that I posted the video when I did, because as a result of that, friends actually reached out to me, both local friends and online friends reached out to me. And that was nice, because at the time I felt like I didn't have anybody. If you've ever suffered major depression, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you haven't, think of the worst sadness you've ever felt, like with the loss of a pet or a good friend or a parent, and then multiply that by about 1,000. And that's what a major depression episode feels like. At least it does to me. And then if you add to that chronic pain, and I'm not just talking like, oh, I'm a little achy or I'm a little sore. I'm talking like many days I feel like I have a billion bees stinging me all over my body, all over my skin. It hurts. My hair hurts. And then on top of that, I will have the muscle aches and then the joint aches. Days are better than others. And I do take medication for that, but there's only so much I can take and still be functional. And as I told my doctor, I would rather feel the pain and remember conversations with my family than to knock the pain out or numb it, because that's really all it does, is it just numbs the pain, and not have any idea who I've spent time with. So yeah, chronic pain, depression, PTSD, and then I also have generalized anxiety disorder, that is from years of being abused by my father. So, there's all of it. Well, most of it. I guess the only other thing is when my father committed suicide, I was the one that found him. And he was still alive at the time. He died 3 days later on Mother's Day. And I lost my mother to cancer 3 years prior to that happening. And as you know, this year, I got divorced for the second time. So that's a lot of stuff going on in 1 year. And then to have lost 2 jobs in 1 year, when I'm just trying to do the best that I can. I'm 50 years old. Now, in some places, that may not seem very old. Unfortunately, where I live, in Southern Illinois, once you hit about 45, sometimes even 40, depending on the industry, you're basically unemployable according to societal standards of employment. So me being 50, it's really, really hard for me to find a job. Even though I have a master's degree. I have a master's degree. Yes, I have a master's degree in social work. It's not like it's in, theology or anything like that. No, I have what I thought was a marketable degree. Yes, Derby. Derby's over here. She hears me talking. Come on up. But I'm having a hard time finding work, keeping work, because I have a very high standard of performance. And if I don't know something, I'm going to ask questions. And I'm finding more and more that, and I'm generalizing here, so please don't chew me out in the comments. I'm generalizing. In my area, the employers that I have had who are younger than me, who are younger than even 45, they don't want to take the time to teach anything. They don't want to take the time to explain anything, and they don't like answering questions. And that's a sad state of affairs, because I remember a time in which it was a good thing if you asked a question, because that said, oh, you want to learn. Now it's, make it up as you go along. If you don't know it, too bad. You'll get in trouble for it later. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I basically wanted to come on here and thank the people that reached out to me. I don't want to name you. You know who you are. The people who emailed me, who messaged me on Messenger on Facebook, the people who actually called me and texted me, and the people who actually came and got me out of my house so that I would stay safe, so that I wouldn't be alone. I don't do well being alone when I'm in that state. I took a shower. It's the next day. I had a good night's sleep. I took a shower. I have plans with friends today. I have plans with friends tomorrow. They are helping me. Because sometimes it takes a few days for me to get out of this funk. I'm sorry if I have offended anyone. I'm sorry if I've lost subscribers because they don't want to hear about sad things. But as I said when I first started this channel, I wanted this to be my journey. And that's what this is. It's my journey. And now I am looking for work again. If I could have my dream, my ultimate dream, I would have my own counseling office out here in the woods where I think it's very healthy. I would have a small office where I could do one-on-one counseling with people, and that would be my dream right there. That would be my dream. I could set my own schedule. I could set my own hours. I would be helping people. Unfortunately, I do not have a license, and in Illinois, to open your own practice, you have to be a licensed clinical social worker. And to do that, you have to have 3,000 hours, supervised hours. Then you have to pay a rather large fee, and you have to take the exam. And you only get 2 chances to take it. And I've had friends who have gone years trying to get their LCSW. I've been out of school 12 years now. So a lot of the information has changed. I would basically have to go back through and learn some new things. And I don't have the money to pay for supervision. Usually, if you're lucky, you get supervision through a job that you're working. There will usually be someone there who is licensed who can supervise you, and you will get credit for your hours that you are working. And then, you know, it's easier to get your hours that way. I don't think it's ever going to happen for me. So my other dream, my second dream, would be to have my own tarot therapist office out here in the woods. You know, it doesn't have to be big, you know, just a little room where I can sit with a person and give them tarot therapy. Tarot therapy is different from tarot reading. Tarot reading, I just look at the cards and I read the cards and I tell you what the cards say. Tarot therapy helps you to investigate what each of those cards means to you and helps you to identify situations or problems that maybe you hadn't thought of initially until the cards showed them to you. And then the therapy part comes in where we talk about it and you come up with solutions to those issues that are that appear during the layout of the cards. I'd love to do that. They do that in England a lot. I've spoken with tarot therapists from the UK. There isn't such a program like that in the US. So, you know, I have all the qualifications, being as I'm a master's of social work, and I've been a tarot reader for 38 years, going on 39 years. You know, I have all the qualifications. So that would be my other big dream, is to do that. That all takes money. And I just don't have it. Plain and simple. When I lost my job in June, I had a little bit of savings. And I mean a little bit. Like, you guys, if you knew how little it was, you would be surprised that I made it this long. That savings is now almost all gone. And I did get unemployment for a while, but then when I took this job on December 10th, you know, of course, I was honest. I reported, I now have a job. Here's the pay stubs. Here's what I'm getting. And then, you know, 2.5 weeks later, I lose that job. So now I don't know what that's going to mean, because I have reached out to the unemployment office again and said, well, that job has ended. What do I do now? Do I need to reapply? Is it going to carry over? I don't know what's going to happen. Because that's how, between my savings and the little bit of unemployment that I got every 2 weeks, that's how I was surviving. That and kind folks who, you know, donated to me through PayPal, which it was just a couple, and I'm very thankful for that because it was enough to put gas in my car, which I needed. You know, and doing personalized tarot readings. You know, I earned a little bit of money through that, not a lot, because I don't charge a lot. As a matter of fact, here I'm going to throw in a plug. If you are interested in getting a personalized reading from me, please email me at smallwoodhomestead@gmail.com. Because right now I could really use the money. I'm not going to lie. I'm not begging, but I'm just being honest. These are the ways that I have to earn money right now. I do have another job interview. I have a job interview next week. It's not my first choice of places I would like to work because their mission, I don't want to say their mission statement because it wasn't their mission statement, but their ideals of practice are of a religious nature. And as you all know, I'm not religious, but I don't have any problem with people who are religious or anything like that. I want to go to the interview. I want to see what the interview's like, you know, and ask about the position. You know, if the position requires me to lead prayers and things like that, then I might have an issue because I don't want to be insulting to someone else's religion. That's not the way I am. I'm not like that at all. You know, I don't want to hurt anybody. Well, I had a couple of people that emailed me who are subscribers of the channel and were quite worried, and that's why I decided to make this video. You know, I did message them back. I did respond to their emails, but in case anybody else was thinking, you know, hey, is she still here? I am. I am still here. I am still sad, a little sad and hurt. But I'm going to do my best to just plug on through. That's what I always do. I will be posting a video tomorrow that I recorded a while back because I try to record videos ahead of time. But if I have some that are more pertinent to now, then I post them. I'll be posting this one later today. This is now Saturday. I think it's the 5th. I think it's the 5th. It's Saturday. That's as much as I know. It's Saturday. And I'm looking forward to having a nice cup of tea with my friend Linda today. And that will be nice. And the sun is out. So the sun always cheers me up. I'm going to see if maybe I can stay away from my house today. I think I need to get out of my house and stay away from my house for a little while. Because I find that if I get in the funk, if I get in the depressed mood, I get inside my own head too much. I had a therapist once tell me that was very common for people of high intelligence, and I laughed at her. I'm like, well, I don't know about high intelligence, but I do get in my head a lot. And I'm a list maker. I've probably told you this before. I'm a list maker. I'm writing a list of things that I realized I hadn't been doing. Some self-care things. Like, I love to crochet. That's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world to do is crochet. And I realized I have not crocheted anything since my grandson was born in February. So it's been almost a year. Yes, Derby, come on. It's almost a year since I've crocheted anything. And that crocheting to me is like the best therapy ever. And I don't even know why I stopped crocheting. I don't know, I just stopped crocheting. So now I'm going to start crocheting again and give myself some of that. I have started taking my anti-anxiety medication again, and I've been taking it for 2 weeks now, and I noticed that now I'm starting to sleep better. So between, I think it was last night. Yeah, I think last night I actually got 7.5 hours of sleep, which for me is amazing. I mean, that's amazing. I'm somebody whose brain takes a long time to turn off. I've never been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD or anything like that. I never been diagnosed that. But my brain does run a million miles a minute, and I will think of 30 different things in a 10-minute period. And that's why I have to sometimes stop, because I'll start stuttering, because my brain will go faster than my mouth can go. And that's why I also have dysgraphia. It's a form of dyslexia, but instead of reading letters and numbers in the wrong order, I actually write words in the wrong order. And so my sentences, if I handwrite things, my sentences sometimes don't make sense because they're in the wrong order. And it's because my brain works faster than my hands can keep up. See, I'm already starting to feel a little bit better. I hope you guys can tell that just by talking to you guys. And I do appreciate you listening to me. I have, for the last, 10 years or so, have been on a quest to reduce the stigma of mental health, of mental illness, to reduce the stigma of it being a thing that we hide and don't talk about. Because you know what? There are more people with mental illness or mental illness issues than there are without. And we need to address that. We need to talk about that. And it's not a terrible thing. It's an illness. It's a disease. It's something that affects your body and your mind, just like having, here's how I explained it to my daughter. When my daughter was first put on medication for her bipolar disorder, I said, Bailey, look at it this way. If you had been diagnosed as diabetes, you would be given insulin, and you would be required to take that insulin for the rest of your life in order to control your diabetes, correct? She's like, yeah. I said, well, instead of diabetes, you have bipolar, and you have to take medication for that bipolar for the rest of your life to keep it under control. There's no difference in it. They are both illnesses. They are both chemical reactions within the body and the brain, and they both require medication. There's no difference. My mental health issues, my mental illness, I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I have generalized anxiety disorder. I do not have major depression disorder, though, but I have major depression episodes. And if you look in your DSM-5, you'll be able to figure out the difference in that. I have generalized anxiety disorder. I have seasonal affective disorder. So I got a lot of depression issues, basically. Many of them stem from trauma from my childhood, as well as my father's suicide. So talking about them educates people, and talking about them also, kind of helps people to understand me a little bit, why I react the way that I do at certain things. Still to this day, I cannot watch anything that has someone pointing a gun to their head. That's how my dad died. I can't watch that. And my friends know that if we're watching a movie and they see that that's getting ready to come up, they will tell me, look away. So, we need to talk about this. We need to dispel the stigma and realize that mental illness is just that. It's an illness. Just different types of it, that's all. Sorry, I didn't mean to preach. I really didn't mean to preach. But I wanted to let you know I'm okay. I've got friends that are helping me. And the next video that I'm posting tomorrow is one that I filmed a way back in December. It'll be a cooking video. It'll be more upbeat. I hope you'll like it. And yeah, please continue to send me emails, send me comments. I do appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys. And I want to tell you that if you have feelings like I have, you get down, you get sad, reach out. Reach out. Even if it's just making a video like I did, reach out, call someone. There's the suicide hotline, which I will put it somewhere on here. Call a friend. Call a stranger. If you can't call someone, call 911. Because you don't want to be alone. You don't want to hurt yourself. It may feel like you do, but in the long run, you'll be happy that you got some help. I know I am. I mean, like I said, I'm still sad. I'm not 100% back to normal yet, but I'll get there. I will. I'll get there. And sometimes it takes a really, really low point before your friends realize that you really are sad. You really do need them. Derby. Well, come on. See, Derby's even saying, hey, tell your cat. Tell you what, since yesterday, all 4 of my cats have been laying on top of me. So even they know. I guess that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to try to get outside a little bit later once my hair dries because it's kind of cool right now. But it's supposed to be a nice warm day, so I'll go outside and get some fresh air. And, yeah, I guess that's it. Namaste. And have a great day.